Are you feeling overwhelmed and discouraged at your job search? You're not alone. I'm Itay from Itay on Software. I have over 20 years of experience in the software industry, and I've been looking for a job several times across my career. In this session, I would like to share with you how I kept my mindset positive while I was looking for a position and the impact that it had. So let's start. The first thing to understand is that a job search is not a sprint, it's a marathon. When I was looking for a position myself, I applied to maybe 60 to 150 different companies, and that was through referral. I'm not even counting the ones that were not through referrals. On average, I spent maybe 5 hours each, which gives us about 500 hours. That is a lot. And if you're planning to just sprint and blaze through it, you're gonna get yourself burned out. So what's important, the first thing, my advice, is to pace yourself. Remember that this is a process that could potentially take months, and you need to budget for that. Don't think that you're going to finish it with just a few days of investment. You need to be prepared. The second point that's important is knowing your self-worth. On average, in a good market, when you're applying for a position that is suitable for you, you're probably going to go through tens of positions before you're going to get a good job offer. If you don't know your worth, you might be settling for something early on that might be too low, or you might get discouraged and just stop the process overall. So my second advice to you is know your self-worth. How can you know? Look at the different positions and think to yourself, can I do those positions? If you can, someone would have recognized it at some point, so you can keep on going. My third advice is to trust the process. Establish yourself a methodology that you're going to follow when you're applying to a position, when you're interviewing, and you trust in yourself that this is the right thing to do. If you're going to measure yourself just by having a job offer, that could be quite discouraging because it could potentially take you months till you're going to get one. And remember, in many cases, a job offer is the end of the process. So remember that this is a process and you need to trust the process. And as long as you're making progress and this progress is measurable according to your objective, you're doing fine. My fourth advice is learning and adapting. You're applying through the recruiting website. You don't get a response. Maybe you're doing something wrong. You need to do a referral. If you're sending referrals in LinkedIn and nobody's replying to you, maybe you're doing something wrong. Ask people. Always look at your process and be honest. Is it working? And if it's not working, try and find out why and improve the process. Remember, looking for a job is a job by itself, and it takes time to become good at that. And the only way that you can become better and better is by truly evaluating are things working and applying that feedback process to make yourself better at looking for a job. My fifth advice is to make sure that you're in a good mental health while you're looking for a job. Looking for jobs and having so many rejections can be exhausting. It could be very difficult. If you're going to do it 10 hours a day, you're just going to get yourself burned out. So what do? You do just for a few hours a day, maybe one application. Have hobbies, meet with friends. Don't try and do it 8 hours a day as a full-time job. Think of it as like a part-time job, like a project that you're doing. Spending maybe 2-3 hours every day, and that's it. Keep yourself in good mental health. Go outside, have some hobbies, exercise, meet with friends. But when you are doing the work of looking for a job, you put everything you have into those hours. And that mental health will help you to make the most of it. Another thing you need to remember is that without good mental health, you won't be very successful because it's going to be very difficult for you to really show your best side if you get burned out. And it doesn't matter if it's by sending cover letters or by talking with people and interviewing. Remember, you need to come to those meetings in good, positive state. And if you're burned out, that's just not going to work. The last and most important thing is talking with people. Don't be ashamed about looking for a job. Almost everybody that I know was looking for a job at one time or another. Most people that I know actually got fired or laid off at some point. There is no shame in looking for a job. Share this information with other people, with your friends, with other people that work. Tell them what you're doing. Ask for an advice, 10-20 minutes of the time. Get different perspective about the companies that you're applying to, about how you're applying, who you should talk with. Make this an open conversation. And you'll be surprised. They might know someone or might give you a fresh new perspective. Another thing that this will really truly will help you at knowing your self-worth. Getting tens of rejections could be very discouraging. Sometimes you'll get hundreds. By talking with other people that are familiar with you and familiar with people that are getting hired, you can truly know that you have that self-worth and you can get hired. So this is important to keep those conversations going and be open about it. I never met a person who had a strong positive mindset and was willing to invest months, even maybe a year, looking for a job and wasn't able to find one in the end. Sometimes it can be very difficult, but remember, if you're willing to put the time, not only you can become very good at finding a job, you can also correct if elements are missing in your resume. You can do projects, you can learn, you can potentially change position, maybe even change the city that you live in. So a lot of things can happen. So don't get discouraged. The most important thing is to have a positive mental attitude, positive mindset. And if you have that, you will see that you will get the job that you want. Maybe not the first job, maybe not the second. 5 years out, you'll get where you want to be. So be positive about it. If you find this video useful and those tips useful, please like, share with your friends who might be struggling and finding a job, and subscribe. Till next time.